Hello students, today we will learn and do questions for class 8 science chapter 2 microorganisms our friend and foe. So let's start learning. Exercises. Question 1. Fill in the blanks. Microorganisms can be seen with the help of a dash. The answer for this question will be microorganisms can be seen with the help of a microscope. The reasoning for this answer is because microorganisms, as the name suggests, are micro, meaning they are very small, and the microscope is designed to see things that are very, very small. Hence, why microorganisms can be seen with the help of a microscope. Moving on to the second question. Blue-green algae fix dash directly from air to enhance fertility of soil. The answer for this question will be nitrogen. The reasoning for this answer is that the fertility of the soil is enhanced by nitrogen because various nutrients and other stuff such as nitrogen help and are needed to enhance fertility of soil. And right, hence why blue-green algae can fix nitrogen. Third question. Alcohol is produced with the help of, and the answer for this question is alcohol is produced with the help of microorganisms. As we all know, yeast is the microorganism that is necessary for the production of alcohol and is used to create alcoholic beverages. And since yeast is a microorganism, the answer for this question will be microorganisms. Alright, moving on to the fourth question of answered question D. Cholera is caused by dash and cholera is caused by bacteria. As we all have learned, there are different types of microorganisms, different groups of microorganisms, viruses, fungi, protozoa, algae, etc. And cholera in particular is caused by the bacteria group of microorganisms. Alright, moving on to the second question. Continuing, let's go ahead and do the question 2. Second question. Pick the correct answer. This is the MCQ questions. Alright. The first question in MCQ is this. Yeast is used in the production of dash. The answer for this question will be alcohol. Because as we have learned previously, yeast is used in the production of alcohol and is used in the making of alcoholic beverages. Hence, why the answer will be alcohol. Alright, moving on to part B of question 2. The following is an antibiotic. And the answer for this question will be streptomycin. Yeast is an antibiotic because its main purpose is the baking of bread and the creation of alcohol. Alright, and alcohol is once again made by yeast, hence why it is an antibiotic as well. And that leaves us with streptomycin. As we have learnt in the chapter, streptomycin is an antibiotic. Any of the rest are not antibiotics. Now let's see part C of question 2. Carrier of malaria causing protozoan is a dash. Here are our options: female anopheles mosquito, housefly, cockroach and butterfly. As you all could probably guess, the answer will be female anopheles mosquito, because we have all heard of malaria being caused by mosquitoes. Hence why none of these other options are going to be the correct answer. Part D of question 2. The most common carrier of communicable diseases is dash. Here are options: ant, dragonfly, housefly and spider. And before I tell you the correct answer, I want you to know about the meaning of communicable. Communicable diseases means diseases that can be spread from one organism or human being, however you want to say it, to another. And although yes, it is possible that the rest can carry communicable diseases, housefly is the most common carrier of communicable diseases, as houseflies sit on top of waste products and human excreta and get various bacteria and germs attached to their bodies. Hence, when they sit on our food or sit on our hands, they may cause diseases. Hence, why the correct answer will be house fly. Moving on to part E, the bread or idli dough rises because of, and the answer for this one will be growth of yeast cells. As I have already told you before, the only purpose of yeast is not only to make alcohol, but also in the making of bread, in the baking of bread. Hence, why it will be the third option. Now, moving on to part F. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is called fermentation. Nitrogen fixation means that nitrogen is being put into the soil, and that is obviously not in the case. It is sugar, not soil. Molding means that some sort of mold is being made on top of it, such as mold from fungi, which is obviously not the case. And infection means that the sugar is being infected by bacteria, virus, any of these. And that also doesn't make sense. Hence, why the correct answer will be fermentation. Moving on, and here are the answers. Streptomycin, alcohol, female anopheles, mosquito, housefly. Yes, as you can see, all the answers were correct. Moving on to question 3, match the organisms in column 1 with their action in column 2. This is a matching question. You need to match the column 1 with what they do in column 2. So let's start. Okay. Bacteria. Bacteria is causing cholera. Alright. Rhizobium is the one that fixes nitrogen. Lactobacillus is the one that is used in the setting of curd. Alright. Yes. Yeast is used in the baking of bread. And protozoans are the ones that cause malaria. So the carrier of malaria, the female anopheles mosquito, is the carrier of a protozoan. And virus is the one that causes AIDS. Alright. And as you can see, the answers are correct. Bacteria is the one that causes cholera. Rhizobium is the one that is used in the fixing of nitrogen. Lactobacillus is used in the setting of curd. Yeast is used in the baking of bread. Protozoans are the ones that cause malaria, and virus are ones that cause AIDS. Alright, moving on to question 4. Can microorganisms be seen with the naked eye? If not, how can they be seen? Here is the answer for this question. No, microorganisms cannot be seen by naked eye as they are very small and are called microbes. They can only be seen with the help of a microscope. As I have already told you before, microorganisms cannot be seen with the naked eye because they are of microscopic size, meaning they are very, very small. So small that our eye cannot see them. However, a microscope can. Hence, while microorganisms cannot be seen with the naked eye, but they can be seen with a microscope. So this is the answer to question 4. Moving on to question 5. What are the major groups of microorganisms? The answer for this question will be microorganisms are classified into 4 major groups: bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. Alright, and some algae. However, there is another group of microorganisms which is virus. So note that down. Another group of microorganisms is virus. However, these are the 4 major groups. Alright. Viruses are considered the 5th group but aren't major. Understand? Now, moving on to question 6. Name the microorganisms which can fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Answer 6. Bacteria, such as rhizobium and certain blue-green algae present in the soil can fix atmospheric nitrogen and convert into usable nitrogenous compounds, which are used by plants for the synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. As you all have probably learned in questions in class 6, that bacteria like rhizobium are used in the fixation of nitrogen. We have all learned that they live in the root nodules of leguminous plants and provide nitrogen to them. However, blue-green algae, not all blue-green algae, but certain blue-green algae present in the soil are also capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen. And this fixation of atmospheric nitrogen is useful as they can then convert it into nitrogenous compounds. And these nitrogenous compounds are used by plants for synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. Meaning that nitrogen is very important for the soil because plants use these to make plant proteins and other such compounds that are necessary for their survival. Alright. Question 7. Write 10 lines on the usefulness of microorganisms in our lives. And the answer 7. Yeah, microorganisms are too small. Yes, as you can see here, microorganisms are small to be seen through the naked eyes. However, they are very vital to plants and the environment, meaning that they are very useful for our plants and environment. And without microorganisms, we probably wouldn't even be able to live. Alright? And here are the reasons why. Here are the importance of microorganisms. First point. They are used in the wine making, baking, pickling and other food making processes, meaning that they are used in the creation of various food items that we use in our day-to-day life. The bread that we eat is made with the help of microorganisms because yeast is the microorganism that causes the baking of bread. And wine making is the same because wine and alcoholic beverages in general are made from yeast, which is a microorganism. Pickling and other food making processes as well because microorganisms can also act like preservatives and preserve our food by the process of pickling. Alright. Second point. Alcoholic fermentation by yeast is widely used in the preparation of wine and bread. The reason for this is as we have discussed before, yeast, a microorganism, is used in the preparation of alcoholic beverages and bread or baking of bread. Point 3. A bacterium lactobacillus promotes the fermentation of curd. Yes, the curd that we commonly eat is made through the help of microorganisms. The microorganism that makes curd is lactobacillus. Alright. And the fourth point. Microbes are used to reduce pollution. The reason why they can reduce pollution is because they are capable of decomposing various wastes. Decomposing dead bodies and animal waste and the likes. Hence why they are used to reduce pollution. Other than that, they can also take away other stuff out of the seas and the oceans. Alright. Point 5. They are used to increase the soil fertility by fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. As we have learned before in the previous questions, bacteria like rhizobium and certain blue-green algae are also capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen, which is very useful for plants as the reasons that we have discussed before. They can convert them into useful products such as proteins. And then this is, I'm pretty sure, the 5th point, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the 5th point. Microbes are also useful in preparing many medicines and antibiotics. A lot of the medicines and antibiotics that we take to cure ourselves of various diseases are made through the help of microorganisms such as fungi, bacteria, etc. And this is, I'm pretty sure, point 8. I could be wrong. Certain microbes are also used in the biological treatment of sewage and industrial effluents. This is the reason why microbes are capable of reducing pollution because they can be used in. Alright, moving on to question 8. Write a short paragraph on the harms caused by microorganisms. As we all know, microorganisms are not only beneficial to us but are also harmful to us in various ways. So let us see why they are harmful to us. Answer 8. The answer for this question. Microorganisms are very harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants, and animals. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing, and leather. Some of the common diseases affecting humans are cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans but also in animals. For example, anthrax is a dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. Disease-causing microorganisms in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others reduce the yield of crops. Now let me explain to you. As we all know, microorganisms are not only beneficial but also very harmful to us. This is because some microorganisms cause diseases in not only human beings but also in other plants and animals. These disease-causing microorganisms are commonly called pathogens as they spread diseases from one organism to another. Other than the disease-causing microorganisms, there are also some microorganisms that spoil food and they cause food poisoning, which is very harmful to us. There are others that spoil clothing and leather products, which are of course harmful to us. Some of the common diseases affecting humans are cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. A lot of the common diseases that are caused by microorganisms in humans are the above: cholera, common cold, chickenpox, tuberculosis, etc. There are other diseases as well, such as malaria. Other than that, several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans but also in animals. Humans are not the only type of being which are affected by microorganisms and diseases. Other animals are also affected. For example, anthrax is a dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. So as you can see here, anthrax is a dangerous disease that is not only caused to humans but also to cattle such as cows. And it is very dangerous. And this particular disease is caused by a bacterium. Other than that, diseases are also caused in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others. And these diseases reduce the yield of crops as the crops that were affected by the diseases need to be thrown away. Hence, why the yield of crops is reduced. And that was question 8. Moving on to question 9 and our final question for today. What are antibiotics? What precautions must be taken while taking in antibiotics? Here is the answer for this question. The medicines that kill or stop the growth of the disease-causing microorganisms are called antibiotics. For example, streptomycin, tetracycline, etc. And here are the precautions that must be taken while taking antibiotics. Antibiotics should only be taken only under the advice of a qualified doctor. One must finish the course prescribed by the doctor. And the final point, antibiotics must be avoided when not needed or in wrong doses. Now let me explain to you this question. As you all know, antibiotics are the medicines that kill or stop the growth of the disease-causing microorganisms. The reason why their name is antibiotics is simple, because biotic means living beings, such as microorganisms, such as fungi and bacteria. And these, although some are helpful to us, a lot are harmful to us. Hence, this type of medicine is capable of killing or stopping the growth of these disease-causing bacteria and other such microorganisms. Hence, why they are termed as antibiotics. Some examples of antibiotics are streptomycin, tetracycline, etc. These are the common antibiotics. And the first ever antibiotic that was introduced, that was invented, was actually penicillin. Alright. Now, following below are the precautions that should be taken while taking antibiotics. As we all know, antibiotics should only be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. We should not take antibiotics when not needed, and we should consult a doctor before taking any antibiotics. Otherwise, we may wrongly take them and face many consequences. Second point, one must finish the course prescribed by the doctor, meaning that the amount of antibiotics that a doctor has prescribed to be taken must be taken by the patient, you could say. I.e., they should finish the course. And then, final point, antibiotics must be avoided when not needed or in wrong doses. If we take antibiotics when we are perfectly healthy, then that will also be harmful to us. And if we take antibiotics more than we need it or less than we need it, then they also may be harmful. The reason why they may be harmful is because they will either cause unwanted side effects to us or become less useful in the future when we need them. Hence why we should take antibiotics only when we need it, or not, or in right doses, correct doses, not in wrong doses. Alright. And that, students, was the video for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you like and subscribe to our channel to support us. Anyway, students, bye bye.